Hello and welcome. It's Steve and Alan, and we're in Bacup again for the second time. Last time was last September 2024, and we visit again today. Now, why the silly music and why the roundabouts? Well, I've included it not in a derogatory way, but in a I'm absolutely fascinated by just how this traffic flows through the centre of Bacup. When you consider that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exits and entrances there. I think the planning and architects from Burnley need to come here and sit on a bench and just watch this, because they've made a right hash of Burnley, especially up by Yorkshire Street. Oh dear. They had the perfect opportunity to get it right and they got it totally wrong. This is brilliant. This is how it all should be. And now we move location to Yorkshire Street in Bacup, and this is the home of the Bacup Natural History Museum. Started in 1878, and they had various premises until 1947, when they had to find alternative accommodation. So in 1950 they rented this old pub at number 24 Yorkshire Street, and finally purchased it from Massey's Burnley Brewery in 1951 for 350 quid. Bargain. Rochdale, Burnley and Rawtenstall, King Cotton Country. Now, I think this was originally the Cooperative Society shops on Yorkshire Street in Bacup, and the date from 1907. And the Co-op Society started life in 1863. And if that's the case, then it took about 44 years for it to get to Bacup. Look at that odd little building tucked in there. It's absolutely full of eclectic buildings, Bacup, but all the more fascinating for it. And look at the style and the grandeur of those buildings. Road system still fascinates me. Brilliant. What a nice memorial to the fallen of World War I and World War II. All those lives lost. On the left, the building is the previous Regal Cinema, and I think it's been derelict for 23 years. And if they knock it down, it's gone forever, and you never miss until it's gone. Shops in the distance, shops everywhere in Bacup. What a prosperous town that must have been. And Steve's chose this little alleyway because he was in search of cobbles and old buildings. Well, he found the cobbles, and he also found this garage, 2 garages here. And the doors look original. I wonder what cars were stored in there. Bullnose Morrises, 1920s, you name it. And here's the cobble sets. Now there's granite sets and stone sets. I think them are stone. And over the years, obviously, they've subsided for whatever reason. And modern man has come along and just filled it in with concrete or a bit of tarmac. Why don't they realise that those cobbles will last and last and last? And look at the rake on that street. Can you imagine taking a horse and cart down there in the winter? And talking about horse and carts, what about this for a hill? Can you imagine all the deliveries, milkmen and bakers and coalmen that had to take a horse and cart up this slope here? It's absolutely terrific. And halfway up is a beautiful church. But onwards to the top of the hill, and it's just absolutely filled with eclectic buildings. And there's a little handrail on the right hand side, and this is a view right opposite the valley where Bacup is. So this is literally the other side of where we are now, and it just nestles in that valley there. And there's another vehicle coming up, making easy work of it in today's transport. Imagine a horse and cart coming up there, but more importantly, can you imagine a horse and cart going downhill? Because all they had was a little bit of fabric on a wood block onto a steel rim as brakes, and of course the horse was required to dig its heels in as well on the cobbles. Look how steep that street is. How on earth did they figure the angles out for that to be made? Back to another favourite building of mine, the Lancashire and Yorkshire Bank building. Absolutely beautiful. Shops everywhere, shops on the left, shops on the right, shops further down, shops further into the centre. What a prosperous town this must have been all those years ago. Look at those shops. And Steve's at I won't say it was a derelict building, but it's empty, there's no roof on it, and I don't know whether those were shops or not in the old days. But here's another little eclectic building. Look at this little thing wedged in between those two big ones. And now I'd like to include one or two of Steve's stills. Steve, the brother-in-law, does stills, and he loves black and white. He does some wonderful shots in black and white, but I must admit the end shot on this in colour is really nice. It was too steep for me to climb up there, so Steve did it. Bye for now.